NFL players getting, IG models pregnant, OnlyFans chicks pregnant.
Yeah, but they dumb though. Yeah, they dumb though. See, the girls know they can always get a nick that's 2 years into the league. Fresh out of college, come on, man. You know how long these niggas been following these Instagram girls and probably been DMing them, and they probably been left on scene. They get that 100 million, that 200. Pop, they got it. They going for gold. Just because they got that money, that don't bypass who they really truly are. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, the ball players want to be rappers. They really want to be. They listen to our going into the arenas, rapping like us. They dressing like us. They, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, they get them. They way more greener than getting a rapper. Athletes is the easiest niggas to get. That's why you always see them. You always see them get caught up in shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. God bless them, man. Them niggas tripping, man. You made your first 200. You ready to give up 50 a month for 18 years? Come on, man. Got to be more careful.
Welcome back to the channel. It's that guy, So Fly, Energy Eli. Please do make sure you comment, like, share, and subscribe. And please do follow Energy Eli on all platforms. Today, what I want to speak about, as you just saw from the video from Bao, he was mentioning about how these young athletes that these kids have been seeing for so many years, and when they finally get that big contract, they DM them and then they eventually end up impregnating these women. So as Bao will explain, a lot of these young males, since probably the ages of 14, 15 onwards, they have seen these girls, these Instagram models, these IG models. They've seen these women, for years. They're young boys, we all being impressionable. So you see them and you're like, wow, she's so beautiful, she's so this, she's so that. We did because we all saw, not only Anthony Edwards, Zion Williamson, so many other, Jalen Green, these young guys, if they were not used to, certain women or certain caliber of women, throughout their lives, they were never those type of guys. When they get money, money opens up a whole, that type of money is almost like, it's like a kid in a candy store. It's like giving a kid, $50 to go into a candy store. He's gonna eat so much candy to the point where he just rolls over and he's just, and it's the same with these young athletes. And that's why Bow Wow said they're so green, meaning they're worse than a rapper, because at least a rapper was kind of already used to that type of lifestyle in some way. Most of these athletes are not used to this type of lifestyle. It was just basketball, training, and that's it. They were always usually very shy. They were always usually very, not the smoothest guys. Only a handful of guys that can really say, hey, I was that guy, or I did this, or I did that. Most of these guys, they just get this money, and like Bow Wow said, it doesn't change really who they are. They just get money now and have access to the type of women and the services that they probably would want. So then you have a case of, young males who have never been in this position before in their lives, and now all of a sudden they're a $100 million man and they can have any woman they want. A normal guy's gonna be like, okay, cool, I'm gonna have a little bit of fun. I may do a few things. I may, interact in a certain way with these women, but I'm not gonna crash out. I'm not gonna impregnate these women when I know these women have a sole purpose. The same way I saw her on IG, most of these women, that is their sole purpose, is to get you attracted to them, is to make you lust for them, but these young impressionable ones, they don't know. See, most of these veterans or these guys that's been in the league a few years, these women can't get. Now they still get some on, don't get it twisted. Some of these guys are still cornballs. Some of these guys, they don't have no type of, swag. They don't really even see the signs of a woman that's really gonna try to play them and use them for what they got. But they get these younger ones because they know that these younger ones are impressionable. They just entered into the professional realm. They don't really have a clue of like how things really work, how things really go. They just only know from what they can kind of see that that's what it is. We've all been there. You had that one famous celebrity, woman since you probably were, like I said, 13, 14. Man, she's so beautiful. You had her picture, maybe in your binder, on your wall, maybe next to your sports posters, and you finally get to that moment where you're like, man, I can meet this woman. She's right there. I got the access, I got the money to do it. And then you go and do it. See, in Anthony Edwards' case, I believe that brother had 3 children within the same year, man. In the same year. I don't know who's in his circle. And sometimes it's not even about your circle, it comes down to you. Because it can be people in your ear telling you this, but you think you know everything because you got a bag and you're the man, everybody's praising you. So you feel like you're invincible, you can do what you do. But you're not gonna realize in the long run, you're gonna cost yourself millions of dollars that you could have avoided and could have put in investments, could have put in real estate, could have put in certain businesses, And now when it comes back to hit you, when those checks after a while, you know, as you get older, don't come in as much as they were before, then you're gonna realize, man, I wish I had did A, B, C, D instead of E, F, G, H, you know? So you wanna always make sure that you're being aware, and it is a dilemma that's going around, you know? So young athletes, that's why you guys have to understand that, you know, you are a target. They've been targeting you. Like Bow Wow said, they might've left you on red 4 years ago. You just got drafted to the NBA and you hit them up. They know, they're gonna research, okay, cool, I'm gonna give them, okay, how you doing? Yeah, so they already know. Because the other ones, they already don't use and abuse them or whatnot. They don't have their phone with them and they toss them to the young boys. So be mindful, don't become that. You know, no disrespect, we're not calling no names. We're just talking about in the aspects of these women. Do not become an Anthony Edwards, don't become a Jalen Green. You know, don't become a PJ Washington. Don't become any of these guys in those terms. I'm not talking about them as people or as players. I'm talking about when it comes to women. Be mindful, fellas. These women run game. Be mindful. Once again, my name is TheEnergyEli. Please do make sure you comment, like, share, and subscribe. Hey, I'm out. Believe.